Okay, students, this video is on the idea of solfeggio. Solfeggio is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do business that you get in music theory. Now, solfeggio is used internationally all over the world, and one of the reasons it does that is because it doesn't matter what country you're in. You don't have to use the English numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you don't have to use English letters C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You use the solfege syllables. So it's kind of an international way to look at the music. So we've given syllable names, and this is do. And even though we hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course 8, 8 and 1s are interchangeable. Again, why are 8 and 1s interchangeable? Because I can go to the very lowest C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That 8 is also 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 is also 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., etc., etc. Now, the beautiful things about solfege syllables, as we go up and we assign each of them, do is always assigned to the first degree of the scale, re to the second degree, mi to the third, fa to the fourth, sol to the fifth, la to the sixth, ti to the seventh. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, do. We got an octave there. So it doesn't matter what kind of scale you have. You know, you learned in your circle of fifths and major scale video that you have 12 different major scales, all with different starting notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. They all got different starting notes. All the notes change. But the thing is, if you use do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it's always going to be those tones. So it's always do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, etc., etc. So in our musical system, do always means the first degree of the scale, the main tone. Re always means the second degree of the scale. Mi, third degree, etc., etc. So even if we change the key, here is an F scale. We are now in the key of F. An F scale is F, G, A, B flat, C, D. We still call it do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We still call it that. And the beautiful thing about that is even though the numbers change, for what I mean by change is in the key of C, F, C, D, E, F. In the key of C, F is the fourth degree. It's fa. But in the key of F, F's importance change. F now becomes do, the number one tone. Now, the same thing, the opposite is true. In the key of C, do is the most important tone there is. But in the key of F, it changes its sound. In the key of F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's C. In the key of F, C is number 5. So since it's number 5, it's sol. Now, you'll see this. Sometimes you'll see it written number 5 written as sol. sometimes so. It's the same thing because if you put sol la right back to each other, do re mi fa sol la, the L gets mixed up. So either one is fine. Okay, so doesn't matter what scale you play, do is always number one, re number two, etc., etc. That is our musical system here. Now, in other countries, a couple of other countries, especially I can think of Mexico as one, it's a little bit different. What we have is called the movable do. And the movable do means that if we change scales, do is always going to be where number one is. So in the key of A flat is do. In the key of D is do. So that's a movable, that's called the movable do. In a country like Mexico, and a few other countries do this, they have what's called the fixed do. So in our system, do means the first note of a scale. Re means the second note of the scale. Mi is the third note. Fa is the fourth note. Sol is the fifth note, and on and on. In these other countries, do means C. So do is always C. Re is always D. Mi is always E. Okay? We don't use that system, but just be aware that that system is out there. So in a country like Mexico, this is not do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. In a country like Mexico, this is fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa. Because in their country, F is always fa. So just be aware of that. But again, in America and many other countries, this is the order, no matter what it is. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. 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 Okay, so that's how the solfege works. And especially if you're a singer, you'll use this kind of thing a lot. And for those of you going on to music 6 and music 7, you will be using these a lot. And they're pretty handy. They're pretty useful, especially if you're talking with other people who may not ascribe to the English language. Okay, so now all this stuff has to do with these words: tonic, subdominant, dominant. There's a whole bunch of them, and they are in your reading. And what this is about, it's the idea that not only are we going to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but every note in a scale actually has a certain level of importance and function. Some notes are more important than others. So when we look at in the key of C, when we look at that's number 1, it's just not number 1. That's the most important tone in the scale. It's the tonic tone. All other tones, whatever's happening melodically, harmonically, somehow they all gravitate around the tonic. So in the key of C, the most important tone is C. In the key of F, the most important tone is F. In the key of G, the most important tone is G. That's the tonic tone. So all of these other tones, they all have various levels of importance. Okay? So next to the tonic, the next one that has the most importance is the dominant. The dominant is the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's 1, 5, and 1. So that's a pretty strong tone. And then the next strongest tone is the subdominant. And then these guys, these are like lesser importance, okay? So in any scale, the first tone we call do in solfege, we give it the name tonic. The second tone in solfege is re. We call that the supertonic. Why is he called supertonic? It's not because he's great. Super means above. So the supertonic is above the tonic. So, and all this is just an introduction to this idea. We're going to get more into this toward the end of the semester. So here's 1, tonic. 2, supertonic. 3 is the mediant. Why do we call that the mediant? We call that the mediant because it's in the middle of a chord. A chord, C major, is C, E, G. That's 1, 3, 5. That's our chord. Since that third is in the middle of the chord, it's the mediant. So number 1, do is the tonic. 2, re is the supertonic. 3 is the mediant. Now we get to 4. We call that the subdominant. Sub means below. The dominant is 5. So subdominant is right below. So we got tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant. 5 is always called the dominant. Then this guy, we call this guy the submediant. Why does number 6 be called submediant? Mediant is 3 above the main tone. 1, 2, 3. Mediant. Submediant is 3 below the main tone. 1, 2, 3. All right. And the leading. Number 7 is called leading because it leads right into our main tone. If we did this, it wants us to lead to the end. So we can think of this a few different ways. We can think of this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can think of this as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We can view it as C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But these words tell us the level of importance and later on function. These all do certain things and react certain ways. So this is tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant, submediant, leading, and tonic. Okay, and of course the do's 1 and 8. That's both the tonic. Okay, so you're going to have this in your reading. Hopefully it won't be too confusing for you. And again, this is just an introduction to it. All right, but if you want more on it, it is in your chapter reading. So hope you enjoy.